Okay, so welcome back to the office. This is where I want to do everything I need to in order to swap over my imaging equipment from the SV80ST to the SVX152T. It's sort of a mouthful, and I'm going to start with the giant field flattener, I believe is what it's called. Not sure if I'm getting that, but it's the SFFX152T. So that's they have different field flatteners for the different telescope sizes, but this one's more specific to like the 152. And so what I need to do is remove the visual back first and the thread adapter that goes into the focuser. So there's the visual back. Lots of threads here, so keeps it nice and keeps it visual or imaging train, whatever setup you're going with, nice and stable. So that's good. So I think I'm doing this all correctly. So there we go. The weight of this flattener is probably going to help out with the balance a little bit. Because again, if you watch my unboxing video, first thing I noticed is just how heavy it is up here. This objective is just huge, just a nice big piece of glass. So creates a lot of weight up front, which is fine because again, there's a lot of things over on the end, on the other side. Once you get it to where you need it to be. So I'm looking for 55 millimeters. It's pretty industry standard to have 55 millimeters backspacing. The one thing I have to be sure of is just to make sure that you also account for like the backspacing from the front of the camera to the sensor, because there's a little bit of spacing there. And on my camera, it's a 6.5 millimeters, I believe. The filter wheel is about 20 millimeters, and then 6.5 millimeters back from the front of the camera to the sensor. So 26.5 millimeters is used up already there. So you just have to figure out what the difference is and get that amount in spacers. I'll get this all undone and meet you back here. So you can see, it's a little guy. So there's a field flattener on this one. And I think it's also a reducer, if I remember correctly. So basically I have spacer rings going back from here to here, and that's how I achieved my backspacing on the SV80ST. All right, so I need to find an adapter. It's part of the problem-solving process that you have to be good at for this hobby. But I need to make sure I have the appropriate adapter to go down from the adapter that's on the field flattener to my filter wheel. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm back after doing a little bit more research and reading and trying to find whatever extension tubes I could find and spacers I could find. I think I figured out the magic combination, which if you've done this before, there's it's a matter of finding just the right parts to make this work. And every telescope is different, every camera is different, every filter wheel is a different size. There's backspacing from the front of the camera to the sensors, all these different numbers. And so you have to really kind of hope that you have the right spacers available. What I found is that we need to go 55 millimeters back from the base of the threads of this adapter, which is connected to this extension tube, which is connected to the field flattener. So none of this counts for the back spacing. Everything from the base of the thread that comes with the field flattener to the camera, that's your back spacing. So what I will do is, luckily I have an adapter here, which will go from the, I think it's M48 to M42. And that thread's on there. There's 16.5. I am going to borrow my SV80ST. We'll just take the whole imaging train off basically, because I need these spacers, or at least a couple of them, and the camera and filter wheel, of course. So very carefully move that. Yes. All right. I'd like to get this off. They make these little 3D printed wrenches, which I haven't. I always think about getting one when I have this problem, and then I get past it, and then I forget about ordering one. There we go. How about that? Just a piece of the back of a computer tower. Perfect. Okay, so this is 2 millimeters. Okay, so we need to get to 55. So we have 16 and a half. The filter wheel is 20. That's 36 and a half. And then the back spacing from the base of the camera to the sensor is 6.5. That puts us at 43. So we need 12 more. This is 21. What do we have here? This is 11. So now we have 16 and a half plus 11. So 27 and a half plus 20 for the filter wheel. So 47 and a half, and another 6.5 for the camera. That's pushes us out 54. I'm gonna have to use this one. I think it's gonna put us out by 1. Take these off and just do a final measurement. So this is actually right around 49. Kind of hard to check for sure. I'd say it's 49. So then you add the 6.5, and it comes out to 55 and a half. This is like almost perfect. Move the computer over, or actually move the focuser over. Focus controller, motor, whatever. I'll kind of show you how it goes on there, and then I'll just show you what I end up with. Basically, this L-shaped bracket holds the focus motor in place, and then there's like an adapter that it's kind of like cut in a spiral way so that it can flex with the movement. And so if it's not on there exactly straight, it doesn't matter. It won't get bound up or anything like that. On this one, I know how to mount it. Obviously, I've done it, and pretty straightforward. There's just a screw hole in the bottom of the focuser that you can attach the bracket to, and just like that, it's super simple. I'm going to kind of like take a good look at this focuser before I do anything to it, because it's such a beautiful focuser and I don't want to screw anything up. So I will be back. All right, so I got the focus motor installed. There's a silver adapter there from the motor to the focuser. That's what, basically acts in place of your hand. I didn't hook it up to I don't think I could hook it up to the fine focus knob anyway, but that's where I had it on the 80 millimeter, and it was fine. But also there's again, I'm trying to be careful here, but underneath there is an adjustable screw down there to help lock the focusing mechanism on the focuser so it doesn't shift at all. And the motor itself will keep it in place. So what I did was I repurposed that screw down there in order to hold the bracket in place for the L bracket in place for the focus motor. And I had to use a few washers to kind of step it out so it's not working as intended, where it would actually lock the focuser in place. Because if it's screw, if it's in there tight, you know, you can't move it with your hand. The focus motor wouldn't be able to move it, and probably burn out the motor or do something to the focuser itself, which would just be terrible. So I think the next thing I'd want to do is get this mounted on top. Just have to put some Velcro up here on this top plate, and that should be good. It's funny because all the connections are a lot further back due to the length of the tube. So I might have to adjust how my cables are, but I'm nearly there. So the camera's there. We've got the back spacing right. I think it's looking good. Then it is just a matter of getting this mounted, figuring out the cables and all that, and I'll do that in the observatory. So just to give you an idea, here's the cable, and it's not even this is the cable to the power cable to the camera from the Ultimate Power Box, and I mean, it would just barely get there, but as it is, But the issue is obviously the focuser isn't even drawn out at all, so I'm gonna have to extend out that cable. I mean, it's not a big deal; it's just Velcroed. But oh, and I brought this out to show you that this is what I had mounted when I had the setup to be more portable. And in fact, I might just put it back on here because this might turn into my portable setup, or more permanent portable setup, whereas this is more permanently mounted in the observatory. I think that's it. I'm going to go out to the observatory, try to maybe get some video of it being set up, or just show you once it's all done. So, all right, we'll see you there. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video where we put together the SVX152T and got it ready for the observatory and actually got it all set up in there. As you were able to see, I actually did get an opportunity that same night to shoot a little bit of hydrogen alpha of the Helix Nebula. So really excited about that. The images shown are, obviously with limited data and with no calibration frames at all. So very raw. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what it's capable of doing, and give myself an idea of what it's capable of doing. So I'm really excited to, capture more data. Turns out the Helix Nebula, I think that's going to be my first object. I've already started collecting data on it. It was kind of off the cuff move. I was looking at different objects that were up at the time, and that's one that I've always wanted to shoot. And with the SV80ST, you could definitely get it, but you're not going to get the level of detail that you can get with something that can reach as far as the 152. So really excited about that, and hopefully I'll be able to share some of those images with you in future videos. So again, if you like this video, please like it, and if you want to continue to see videos from my channel, please remember to subscribe. Thanks. Have a good one.